all you tiny house enthusiasts. This is Greg with Rocky Mountain Tiny Houses, here to show you the next house we just completed. This is a 32-foot house on a gooseneck trailer. It's our first gooseneck design, and it's been a fun one. It's a really interesting details in here. We're calling this house the Rio Grande. It's heading to a couple in El Paso, Texas. Family of 4 will eventually be living in this tiny house. So real quick, just looking at the outside, the gooseneck design, the shape there is obviously a little different. We played with the roof lines a little differently on this one. Starting on the front, it's just a traditional gable. Then we go to a dormer, and then in this middle section we go to a valley up to a ridge, and then a lean-to roof on the back. So pretty interesting shape. What drove that shape there was these windows at the salvage yard that I found. They're in really great shape. And that's sort of what drove that roof shape right there. You know, sometimes inspiration comes in unique places like that. One of our traditional fold-down porches, they cinch up to the wall with some turnbuckles. And when you get to where you're going, you just let them loose. And then these legs will come down on their own. And there you go. Yeah, now we'll go inside. Also, this is a door, 60 bucks. At the salvage yard too. I'm so glad the salvage yard is right there and they have such great deals. And I'm standing in the living room space when you first enter. This one is very open and free-flowing, lots of volume and air, big windows, going up some stairs. Actually, I should point out, you know, like most of the stairs, there's built-in storage. You got drawers to pull out here and an open cubby. So we're standing on the gooseneck portion of the house. This will actually be the kids' bedroom. 2 bunk beds up here. You can also put 2 beds this way. The dormer for some extra height, especially when you're coming up the stairs right there. So this is a loft. We're standing up here, no problem. Part of the theme of this house was the river, the Rio Grande River. And as such, we tried to incorporate some river pieces. This is willow branches that we got from the river. They're still a little green, but we had to take all the knots off. But over time, those will brown up. We'll just take a look towards the back of the house. So back to the living area, we have a built-in couch. Open space below. The back door flips open, and you'll have some hidden storage. You got to use every little spot you can find. The other bench where like a kid or 2 could sit for dinner time. I like these fold-up tables. Too big. It doesn't take up too much of the space. I'm getting a lot of requests for wood stoves. These customers might be living in Yosemite or Yellowstone. You might be a park ranger. This is one of my Colorado cylinder stoves. I don't build them. A guy in Grand Junction builds them for me. They're custom made to be in a tiny house. This is probably the showpiece of the house. This custom counter. Not only the height, but what we decided to do. Going with the river theme, I saw this in a different place in Durango, and I thought it was really cool. And I pitched it to them, and they're like, yeah, that sounds really neat, let's do it. So what we have, we start with, this is locally milled Douglas fir that we joined it and glued up into our slab. And then we cut this river very carefully. We filled it with rock. Then we put 3 coats of epoxy, and then we put a final coat of epoxy over the whole thing. They came down here a weekend to help with the house. They collected all this rock on their own and we just put it in. We found a undermount sink, again at the salvage yard, only 40 bucks. Real simple little pantry here. Locally milled Douglas fir. We left it rough cut. We love the rough cut. Rough cut open shelves, not only in the corner but also on this little counter next to the range. It's a Summit 20-inch range, stainless, storage under here for pans, pots, whatever you might need to store. Counter depth, 24-inch refrigerator. Coming from the kitchen into the bathroom, another one of our signature barn doors. To gain back some of this space that you lose by going to such a large tub, we put in shelving above here. If you just need to take a shower, there's plenty of space. If you want to take a bath, you can still get down in here. And you've got plenty of head height. It's very comfortable, you know, not gonna smack your head. It feels kind of cozy, actually. So moving to the other side of the bathroom, there's this vanity. This one I liked because it actually has a drawer. This little mirror we mounted to a barnwood medicine cabinet that we made in the shop. Next to the vanity is a Nature's Head composting toilet, and it's very simple and it works. This is sort of the utility behind the scenes stuff. Combo washer dryer to an LG. It's full rack. They can put shoes or other things up here. You can put even larger things up here. There's a slot that we left for dresses. On the other side of the utility area are the stairs. Under the stairs is the desk area. Lots of room for file storage, built-in cubbies. So the last feature of the back room is that it actually has a back door. Overall, shed roofs have more volume because you're not stuck in that triangle. From side to side, you have the full height. This is a good sized loft, especially for 2 people. If you wanted a full wall of glass, they got it. Eventually, when the kids are a little older, we're gonna put some doors in here so they can screen off their room from the kids' room and have some privacy. That is the big shelf above the closet, but you can also get to it from here. That's the loft. So what we're looking at here, this black wave that you see on the siding, that's actually a figurative river that's running through the house. And we took a torch to that cedar siding and very carefully, mind you, with a fire extinguisher nearby. Well, the idea being that, like a river, it starts small at the headwaters, you know, or i.e. the front of the house, and as it flows, it changes shape. It curves, it flattens out, and it ends much larger by the time it reaches the ocean. We have our propane storage there in the front, 2 30-pound tanks. The really beefy gooseneck. Goosenecks are supposed to be safer to tow because it puts the weight over the axle of the truck rather than the bumper, which is 3 feet behind the axle. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the 32-foot gooseneck Rio Grande tiny house. This is Greg with Rocky Mountain Tiny Houses. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more builds.